What's up, workout crew? Tie up your Reagan here. I have 5 tips to help you successfully fuel and conquer your next trail race. But first, cue that intro. Workout crew, trail racing is fun and exciting, but there is a lot of logistics involved in helping you be successful and hit the goals you've placed on yourself. One of those logistics is nutrition. When are you gonna eat? What are you gonna eat? And how will you respond if your stomach isn't accepting your nutrition plan and you're just throwing it all up? Crew, today I will cover all that in 5 simple tips. Note, all advice here is based on personal experience through running trail races from a 10K all the way up to 100 miles over the past 15 years. Everyone is a little different, but the information you are about to receive has worked really well for me, my friends, and my clients. All right, let's get started. Tip number 1, why do you need to take in calories in longer races? Any race longer than an hour, I would plan on taking in calories. In one of my past videos called Do You Eat Breakfast Before You Run? Posted here if you want to check it out, I talked about viewing your body like a gas tank. You have around 90 minutes of fuel stored in your body. If your run is going to last longer than 90 minutes, you want to make sure you have a steady amount of energy coming in to make sure that gas tank does not go empty. If you empty the gas tank, you will bonk, and many of you know that as hitting the wall. We want to avoid that. We want to keep your energy levels high and keep you running strong throughout your race. So that is why you need to take in calories. All right, let's get into tip number 2. How many calories do I need to take in per hour? This tip is one that you have to experiment with a little, because for me, I can take in about 200 to 400 calories an hour, but my wife found that she likes to only do about 100 to 200 calories an hour. This usually depends on how hard you're running in your race and how strong of metabolism you have. But a rule of thumb is if your race is lasting 2 hours or 12 hours, you need to be eating calories every hour, even if you're not hungry. Within the first 30 minutes of a race, you need to start eating, even if you don't feel like it. So many runners get into trouble later in the race because they didn't start eating until 2 hours into their run. They burn through too much energy from that gas tank, and their stomach isn't digesting energy they are taking in quick enough to provide the energy they need to keep pushing hard. So start eating early no matter what. 30 minutes into a run is a good starting point, and keep calories coming in every 30 minutes after that. Experiment in your long runs before your race. Some long runs take in a little bit more calories and others take in a little less. Your body will tell you what works and what doesn't. You will know by how your energy levels feel on each long run. Okay, tip number 3. When to take in sugary sports foods and when to eat solid foods. This is a good question. This one's gonna be long. Hang in there, guys. Choosing what to eat depends on a lot of factors. How long is your run? How hot or how cold will the weather be? Are you going to be pushing the pace hard or taking it easy? So for running a marathon or shorter, if your race is going to be really hot or you plan on pushing the pace hard, I would probably only do sugary sports foods like sports drinks or gels. They will digest the quickest, be the easiest on your stomach, and keep your energy high. Foods I recommend are things like Tailwind, which is a sports drink, Goo Gels, or a brand I really love right now is Spring Nutrition. There are a lot of brands out there right now. Experiment with a variety of brands and see which one sits the best in your stomach. But if the race is much longer, like a 50K or more, weather might be a little cooler, or you're keeping the pace easy, that is when solid foods would be a good idea. But still keep that solid food in the simple carbohydrate realm, like salty chips, fruit, peanut butter and jelly on white bread, nut fruit bars, etc. You want simple carbohydrates with very little fiber because you want those foods to digest quickly and give you energy fast. Most fibrous foods like wheat bread will take long to digest when you're out there running. So for a rule of thumb, I would plan out your nutrition plan with sugary sport foods first. Plan on what you want to carry on you with things like gels and sports drinks. You can always rely on those foods that give you energy. Then for solid food, rely on aid stations. Each trail race will have plenty of variety to choose from, and you'll find that each race you'll crave different things. I had one 50K where all I wanted was gels and orange slices. Then on my last 100K race, all I wanted was Telin in between aid stations, and then at the aid stations, all I wanted was peanut butter on Pringles. Weird, right? But it sounded awesome at the moment, and it felt awesome too. Your body will tell you what you need when you run into an aid station. Just make sure you're eating something every 30 minutes. Okay, tip number 4. All right, what should I do if I didn't fuel correctly? In 2 or 3 hours into my run, I'm bonking hard and I can barely do a light jog. All right, scenario here. You're running a 50K race. You had a blast running hard with your friends the first 10 miles. Felt great and didn't really think about your nutrition. Then mile 13, you start to feel a little sluggish, so you start focusing on your nutrition then, but it's too late. By mile 18, you have burnt yourself out, the gas tank is empty, and now hiking up a hill feels hard. You have just hit the wall. If you didn't stay on top of your nutrition plan in the beginning and you're now hitting the wall, the first tip is don't freak out and don't drop out of your race. The next tip is to regroup. Know that it will take a little while to refuel that gas tank. So be patient, slow down the pace, and start eating a little bit of something every 15 to 20 minutes. Eating a lot all at once will actually make your problem worse. So in order to turn yourself around over the next hour, plan on taking in a little bit of food more frequently to help refuel that gas tank. Just keep moving at a slower pace. Eat those gels or simple carbs, and within the next hour, you have a good chance on getting yourself back into running hard again. All right, so let's move into our last tip of today, tip number 5. Lastly, what should I do if I'm nauseous, throwing up on the trail, and can't keep any food down? Now, there's going to be a time in any trail race where you're pushing really hard, okay, and your stomach just decides it doesn't want to digest anything, and you're throwing up everything that you're taking in. Or your race is hot and you have the beginning stages of heat exhaustion and you're crazy nauseous. How do you continue your race and pull yourself out of this problem? Well, of course, this is just my personal experience advice on this. This is not medical advice, so please be careful in these situations. But I get this problem more times than I want to admit. I've gotten heat exhaustion in Texas races a bunch. So my advice would be, first, get to the next aid station, sit down, then ask for nothing but one thing. That one thing has been my secret weapon so many times in trail races, and that is Coca-Cola or some type of sugary soda. I know that sounds weird to some, but the carbonation will help settle the stomach. Then the high fructose corn syrup, which is the only time I would recommend corn syrup, doesn't need to be digested. The sugar goes straight to the bloodstream, giving you that little bit of energy that you need, which is wonderful during a race. Within 10 to 15 minutes, you could be back into your race feeling great again. Now, it doesn't always work, but give this tip a try before dropping out of your next race. All right, guys, so that is our 5 tips to help fuel your next trail race. Now, I just did a broad stroke of all of this information, so if you have any questions on anything, please post below. Let's start a conversation about it. Okay, and 2, if you want me to go in more detail about a few of these topics, let me know as well, and I'll make another video on that. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Remember, I'm posting up 2 videos a week, so hit that like button, hit that subscribe button so you can see my upcoming videos. Okay, one video is a workout video to make you a stronger trail runner, and another video is just like this to give you great information to make you a smarter trail runner. Also, too, remember, Generator Athlete Lab and I are hosting 1-hour-long Zoom workouts, so if you want to work out with a great group of people live, hit me a message on Facebook or Instagram. Links are below, and I'll get you guys hooked up. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Okay, I really appreciate you guys. Okay, if you have questions, let me know. And now get out there and work out. I'll see you back here next time.